if I told you that it's actually pretty darn easy to get ahead of 99% of the other software developers out there? And if you're wondering, all right, who the hell is this guy? I'm Andrew Peacock. I've been a professional developer for over the last decade, and over my time, I've done everything from DevOps to front-end development, from leading and managing teams ranging from 2 to almost 50 developers. And stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have learned 3 levels that'll differentiate you being in the top 1% from everybody else. Level 1 is integration over implementation. Look, over my time as a developer, I can't even count the amount of times that I've seen a implementation first design pattern, strategy, mentality, all of those things. And here's what I mean. Somebody asks you to make a new node-based UI, you're dragging boxes, you're connecting lines, and ultimately you're just making a graph. And way too many times have I seen developers immediately jump into exactly how they would solve this with, oh, we'll use a blob store and we'll have metadata on each thing, and connections will have metadata, and this is how we'll do the connections. Oh, and on the back end, it's all gonna be linked list and it's gonna be beautiful and blah, 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 blah. Every single time, all I hear is Jira ticket, Jira ticket, Jira ticket, Jira ticket, Jira ticket, Jira ticket. It's exhausting. And unless you are the company that's actually making this new tool, if you want to be in the top 1% of developers, know that this implementation first strategy is exactly the wrong way to go about things. You see, the best developers that I admire, that I've worked with, that I've had the pleasure of being on the same team as, never carried this, let's make it all fresh, let's make it all from scratch kind of mentality. Instead, these developers are the absolute experts, S tier, at knowing exactly what's out there, knowing what tools exist, what reusable libraries are out there, and how to get after them. And if you don't know, or if you don't feel like you are the expert out there on researching these things, just do what I do. I spend the first 30 minutes or so, whether it be backlog grooming, starting a task, or ideating a new project, spending 30 minutes just researching, hashing it out with Claude or ChatGPT on what tools and projects and reusable libraries are already out there and exist, and ideally are open source, just ready to be used. The key point here is that if you really want to be in the top 1%, you need to become the Lego master and not just writing fresh, brand new code every single time. Level 2 is strategic visibility. I'm willing to bet that you've either seen or been the engineer that has gotten promoted twice as fast as everybody else. And clearly this isn't a mistake. Maybe you don't even believe that this developer is better. Maybe objectively you are better at writing code than they are. But the people that are getting promoted twice as fast are generally, in my experience, the ones who are against heads down programming. So what do you do? What is the practical advice here? Well, you need to learn how to work and make your work visible without being a freaking jerk. Truthfully and being totally transparent, when I was fresh out of college, I was a jerk. I was a super aggressive kind of do-it-myself mentality programmer. I was the bulldozer that ran over my friends and colleagues and just got there faster. I spent a lot of time outside of school practicing my skills, honing my programming skill set, and because of that, I was objectively faster at getting to the solution than a lot of my peers was. And I thought that just getting to the solution faster than everybody else was the right way to get me in the visible spotlight, just so I could be seen and get promoted and all of that crap. And I cannot express enough that this was not the right way to go about things. Let your peers work their tickets, but be the absolute beacon of hope, of energy, compassion, support, be whatever it is. Be that chameleon for your team. Give them the support and kindness whenever and wherever it's needed, because at the end of the day, it is the team that needs to cross the finish line. And if I knew then what I know now, I would have recognized that my bosses, my other colleagues, folks above me that actually matter for my promotion cycles, all of them recognize who the team players are, how effective they are at being a team player, and they know that without my contributions to the team, the whole team wouldn't have got across the finish line. And that is the most important part. No person left behind, the whole team needs to get there. Level 3 is side projects. And if you're new here, just know that I've been screaming for months and months now about how firmly I am in the camp that everyone needs to be working on at least one side project. It doesn't need to be public. You don't have to monetize it or ever wish to monetize it. It could be private and for you, just to fill your genuine curiosity. Unless you're working at an agency or a 1099 or contractor employee, you are probably going to work on very few projects across your career. And this is amazing because you become the subject matter expert. You're so comfortable adding new features or debugging it, just dealing with it. It is eventually going to be like your baby, right? You've dealt with it on a day-to-day basis, probably for years now. And it's also easy to forget that you had to go through a tremendous amount of work to become that subject matter expert. And I'm willing to bet that in that window of going from noob to SME, you gained a stupid amount of knowledge. And this is exactly why I firmly believe that side projects are so important. That going from noob to SME is a special thing. And having the opportunity to up and be low or zero risk and to just go after things is something so special and something so rare that I think a lot of developers take it for granted. And I used to be this way too. I used to carry that mindset of like, oh, I write code on 9 to 5. Like, why the hell would I ever go and write more code after work? Like, I get all my coding done at work. Until I noticed that I started to fall behind some of the better engineers on my teams. And I asked all of them, every single one, hey, what is it that you're doing that sets you apart from everybody else and helps you learn all of these new cool things? How do you know about all these cool tools and libraries that are out there? Because I literally don't know any of them. And every single one said, oh, well, I'm building this cool side project that's doing this GraphQL stuff, and now I'm ditching REST APIs over Graph, and all the, blah, blah, blah. All of these things, every single time, was because somebody was genuinely curious about something and was messing around with tools outside of work on a side project. So those are all 3 levels. And while I say levels, just know and recognize that you can complete these at any order, at any point, at any time. But my challenge to you all today, and I genuinely encourage you, pick one of them and start right now. Give yourself a reality check. Figure out which ones you're missing. Maybe you're missing all 3. Maybe you have all 3. And if you have any others that you would like to give back to the community, drop a comment down below and let us know. And have fun. I'm proud of you. See you next week. Peace.